Good morning, everyone. So we are returning back with slope, but now the question has changed. All right, it says, what is the slope of the line that passes through the points 8, -9 and 14, -9? All right, so when you are given the slope, a question of slope, you are given 2 points. You need to use the slope formula. All right, and the slope formula is m equals, all right, and in the numerator, it's going to be y sub 2 minus y sub 1 over x sub 2 minus x sub 1, okay? All right, now, what do those x sub 1s, x sub 2 means, okay? It means when you have 2 points, so let's use the example that they gave me. So I have 8, -9, 14, -9. Well, if you remember, points are x comma y. So this is x comma y. This is x comma y. And then what we do is that we take one point and we assign it the subscript of 1. So this would be considered like our first point. And then this would be considered our second point. Okay? All right. And then now we just make the replacements in the formula. So m equals -9 minus -9 divided by 14 minus 8. Now, it's important to know that it doesn't matter which point is x1, y1, which point is x2, excuse me, y2. What matters is that if you do -9 minus 9, that you come from the same point and subtract. You can't crisscross. You can't say, well, in this problem, in the numerator, I'm going to do -9 minus 9, but then in the next one, on the bottom, I'm going to do 8 minus 14. That's what you can't do. You have to do the same point, okay? Has to be here minus the second point. Has to be here, okay? All right, now, I would highly recommend that you use Desmos, okay? And the reason I would say Desmos is because of my ability to type it, and that's not the screen I wanted. I would use Desmos because you can write a fraction bar in the calculator, and then you could simply type -9 minus -9, and then on the bottom, 14 minus 8, okay? And you get an answer of 0. And that's okay, okay? The reason the answer is 0, okay, is because if we were to plot the points, okay, the line would be horizontal, okay, and it would be down here because the points are 8, -9. So let's just say 8 was here and -9 was here. And then if point 14 was here, -9 would be down here, and those would be our 2 points, okay? And when you have a horizontal line, okay, your slope will always be 0. So that's okay. Don't panic if you get a slope of 0, okay? All right, let's go to another example. Okay, let's type in 0. Yes. Okay, and you can see the same work, okay, that is done here. All right, so we have -3, -3, and we have -9, 5. All right, so now let me scoot this up. X1, Y1, x2, y2. And again, I'm being completely honest in that it doesn't matter which is first. So m equals, so if I do it this way, so 5 minus negative 3. Since I start with a 5, I need to start with a negative 9 minus negative 3. Okay, so then if I switch over to Desmos, type in that fraction bar, 5 minus negative 3 over negative 9 minus negative 3. Okay, so I get negative 1.33333. Okay, now Desmos has a hard time converting things back to fractions. Okay, so what I'm going to do is if I'm not comfortable with adding and subtracting negative numbers, so 5 minus negative 3, okay, so that gives me 8, and then negative 9 minus negative 3 gives me negative 6, and then I'm going to reduce that so I can divide both of them by 2, so I get 4 over negative 3. And there's my answer for my slope. Okay. All right. And one of the things you should be thinking about when you do slope like this, when you do this calculation, is what type of line of this is this. Okay. And this would be a line that would be going downhill. Okay. All right. So let's go back here to delta math. Okay. 4 divided by negative 3. Submit. Got our question. Check mark. Okay. All right. Let's see if I can get a point, a problem to solve. There we go. Okay, so this is going to be our last problem. All right, so what is the slope of the line that passes through the points negative 10, comma 4, and negative 10, comma 8? All right, so x1, y1, x2, y2. So I get m equals 8 minus 4 over negative 10 minus negative 10. So 8 minus 4, and then 10 minus negative 10. Okay? All right, so if I go over here to Desmos, on the numerator, I have 8 minus 4, and then negative 10 minus negative 10. Okay? All right, we got undefined. Why did we get undefined? Because 8 minus 4 is 4. Okay, and if you're not sure, negative 10 minus negative 10 is 0. Okay, so when we get a 0 in the denominator, okay, our slope is undefined. Okay, and why does that happen? That happens because if I were to take these points, negative 10, let's say negative 10 was here, I'd go up 4, and then I'd negative 10 again, and I go up to 8. Okay, and what that does is that creates a vertical line. Okay, and vertical lines have no slope. Okay, so that's why 2 on Delta Math, see how he gives you the option of undefined? He has to provide that for every single problem with the possibility that you could get a slope that's undefined. Okay, all right, so you've got all the scenarios presented to you in doing the slope formula. Okay, remember the best way to learn a formula is to write the formula, but this should also be a review for you. Okay, if you've got any questions, please let me know.